Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I actually have such exciting news today. Exciting for me, but also hopefully maybe exciting for you. This first spread I'm making in today's video is for my archive journal, and it's to celebrate the fact that I recently signed up for NetGalley. If you're not familiar, NetGalley is like a website where you can sign up for ARCs, advanced reader copies of certain novels, and also manga. The whole entire reason I even signed up is because I didn't even know that they had mangas available. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, I've got to sign up, especially because there was this one manga that has been on my list for mangas that I'm excited about in 2025. And so I requested it, not really thinking anything of it. And not only did I get approved to read it early, but also the publisher, Kodansha, auto-approved me for any of their titles that they released on NetGalley. I was like, what? I was so excited. I feel like IRL, I live a very sad girl life, like on a day-to-day basis. I'm like, does anything good ever happen? So whenever I got the email that I was auto-approved, I was just so happy, grinning ear to ear. Honestly, I'm not sure if they specifically like looked through my social media and that's why they auto-approved me, or if there was just like another reason. I have no idea. But nevertheless, I'm so happy and also honored. And also, if someone from their team did look through my social media, it's because all of you that I would have even been auto-approved like that. So thank you, as always, for all of your support watching my videos. So for this spread, I wanted the theme to be kind of like, wow, I'm so lucky, right? So I used that cute little ladybug background, and also I made kind of like a little sticker. Recently, someone asked if I could do a video about showing how I make my digital stationery, and yes, I am working on that. I feel like this kind of gives you like a little glimpse into it though. Like for that sticker, I used a couple of different fonts, and then I used that one collection where all of the letters and the symbols and stuff are kind of pixelated. And then just some basic shapes, a star, a clover. I ended up really loving the color palette of the spread as well. Like the yellow and green are kind of more muted, but then the pink and the red and the blue are kind of vibrant. Oh, also in that Hello Kitty art that I found that matched perfectly. As I always say, I get so happy when that happens, because how did I find something that matched the colors of the spread so perfectly? It was meant to be. And she's reading. She's just like me, reading all of my arcs that I'm definitely going to request from now on. Also, since I have the time, I thought I could do a little update, like a media update / life update. Not really, nothing ever new happens in my life, but you know what I mean. So first of all, we're almost halfway through the year, which is crazy. I feel like I need to really be planning out my videos very carefully, because I'm going to do a mid-year flip through of all of my journals. I'm also not sure what I'm going to talk about as I'm flipping through them. I'll figure that out later though. I'm also really excited that like summer anime season is coming up. I don't even know the premiere dates of any of the shows, but I'm excited to see Kaiju number 8 season 2. I'm excited for part 2 of Sakamoto Days. Also, the summer Hikaru died. Oh my gosh, I have to read, or I guess I should say reread volume 1 before that comes out, but it'll probably cover like volume 1 and 2, I'm guessing. I think that's going to be on my July TBR. Speaking of TV shows, if anyone cares about my Covert Affairs update, I've already finished season 4, and so now I'm on to the last season, season 5. What am I even going to do after this? I very rarely rewatch shows like that, so this has been like a big deal for me, and the fact that I've kept up with it, I'm very proud of myself for. I also watched 2 movies, and I didn't make spreads for either of them, so I actually need to update my movie journal. But I watched Ghost World, that movie with Scarlett Johansson, and I also watched Foe, that movie with Saoirse Ronan. Ghost World was, and maybe still is, free on YouTube. I probably would have loved it when I was a teenager. As an adult, I was just like deeply concerned, like, why are you hanging out with an old man? And then Foe with Saoirse Ronan, it also has that man that everyone loves, Paul Mescal. I've never seen him in anything before now, but he's a really good actor, so I guess I kind of get it in that aspect. And also Aaron Pierre, he was in the movie as well. I thought he was acting really well, but I just watched it mostly because I love Saoirse Ronan, and every once in a while I get a desire to watch something sci-fi, because I really do enjoy sci-fi stuff. I just don't ever consume it. I thought the acting was really good, but also I'm like kind of deeply concerned about how many movies are simply about a man trying to replace his girlfriend or wife with a robot. Like, that's a sign of the times for sure. But anyway, that's my little media catch up. I am finished with this spread, and I'm just so happy to be able to have access to some manga that are coming out. Like, Kodansha always releases a lot of good series, so I'm really excited about the future, and I'm so thankful to them and to NetGalley. The next spread I'm making is for my reading journal, and it's for the blmanga Shout Loud My Heart. If you look back at my manga I'm excited for in 2025 spread, you will see Shout Loud My Heart is right in there with all the other ones. I have been so excited to read this because it's about 2 guys who are in university, and they're both in bands. And I just feel like I don't really read a lot of stories that are about two people who are involved in music in that way. So the main characters of this are named Mike and Jen. Jen is a guitarist for the band called Eve, and Mike is the vocalist for the band called Adam. Yes, Adam and Eve. I liked that aspect. Like already they just go together. Jen is kind of like the grumpy black cat sort of trope. Like he doesn't really take a lot of interest or notice into those around him. But then one day at an event where both of their bands are playing, Jen hears Mike sing and he's like, whoa. He falls in love with his voice right then and there. And then he comes to find out that he and Mike go to the same university. And also they even have the same classes, some of the same classes together. He didn't even realize that before. And so that's how they begin to get to know each other. Mike is very like flirty, seems kind of rascally. It's clear that they both begin to develop feelings for one another. And I loved the way that them being in bands was kind of like the backdrop to everything. Just like the world of the bands, like the atmosphere of them being in bands. I really liked that. And I also loved the art. There were so many different panels where I was like, wow. Like I loved this, like the composition of it, especially with Jen. I feel like there were a couple of him and like when he was playing his guitar or just like up on stage. I loved those panels. And there's also a really pretty one where he like goes to listen to Mike performing with his band and he closes his eyes and he like imagines them underwater. And I thought that was also really beautiful. The two of them really had good chemistry together, especially I would say like during the, you know, the big scene, the scene that happens at the end of any type of 18+ manga. I feel like it was like grounded in reality. Like there's something that felt realistic about it. And then one of my favorite parts about the manga was the end. There were so many cute bonus stories. It wasn't just one. I think there were 3, maybe 4. I love that. And there were character profiles at the end too, but I loved the bonus stories. The 2 of them were so cute. I'm so like in between ratings for this manga because like there was nothing that I disliked about it, but also at the same time, I've been trying to be really strict this year with giving out 5 stars and like really only give 5 stars when something is like, wow, like it just has like an element to it that I'm like, oh my God, like I love this. But also at the same time, like with this manga, like I feel like it deserves 5 stars because like I have no complaints about it. Like there was nothing that annoyed me. Even like, you know, kind of the like, oh, we're having like a miscommunication or like misunderstanding or like thing that breaks us up. Like even that part of the manga wasn't like drawn out or annoying. Neither of the main characters were annoying. All the people around them, their bandmates, their friends, I thought they were all fun and funny. The plot was paced really well. And you know how I complain about people like not going on dates? They even went on a date. Like Mike comes over to Jen's apartment and they watch a movie together. And that's on top of them, of course, like seeing each other anyway for like band stuff. I just don't have any complaints. I don't even have any of my like usual complaints because I feel like this was done well. Because I know sometimes when something is 1 volume, I'm like, ugh, they didn't really have enough time to like tell their story. Like there just weren't enough pages. And then sometimes things are more than 1 volume and I'm like, they had all these pages and their story still was kind of lacking something. But I did not feel that way with this one. But also at the same time, I'm like, do I give it 5 stars? Like there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm like, is it a 5-star read for me this year? I don't know. I think I'm going to log it as 5 stars. I also would definitely read another volume of them together. Like I feel like their lives, even outside of university, maybe when they're like adults would be really fun. I also don't always get a chance to make like darker spreads. I mean, I'm the one making the spread, so the color palette is up to me, but I don't usually make darker spreads, but this one turned out so cute. I wanted to mention too, I made that star patterned guitar. I thought that turned out really well. I literally made it specifically for the spread. But anyway, I really enjoyed Shout Loud My Heart. If you like the vibe of 2 people being in bands, and also for all of my seasonal readers out there the way I am, this manga is set in winter or fall, definitely a cold season. So I feel like it would hit even better if it were cold right now. Shout Loud My Heart comes out on June 17th in print and digital. And thank you once again to NetGalley and Kodansha for the arc. The final spread I'm making for today's video is also in my reading journal. I read volume 2 of a manga series called My Oh My Atami-kun. If you don't remember when I first talked about this series is kind of like a slice of life. I guess it is technically a BL, but for me, it's a slice of life series before it's a BL series. And it follows this high schooler who is just kind of growing up. He's learning new things about himself, learning new things about life. He's making new friends, and he's falling in love like every day, every week. And it's just such a nice series to read. In volume 2, it pretty much picks up where it left off. I was kind of hoping volume 2 would be more summary, which is why I even put it on my TBR for June, because I thought, oh, maybe it'll be kind of summary because that's how volume 1 ends. But like summer break is skipped over a little bit. Actually it goes kind of quickly. I think summer and fall and spring pass. Like I'm pretty sure in the next volume, like Atami will be moving to the next grade, because this is a slice of life series, there's not really any kind of like major conflict. It's just more so like Atami thinking things. Honestly, I love to see like his thought process and like the way he finally like comes to understand things or comes to understand himself. And what was so nice, I think, in this volume was that you see Atami beginning to kind of branch out. Like, I feel like he wants to try new things and like kind of push himself more. Like, for example, one of the things about him is his family dynamic. It's just him and his dad. And in the first volume, he kind of talks about how he and his father don't really have like the kind of relationship where they can just kind of casually chat to each other. It's not that it's like a bad relationship. It's just they don't behave kind of the way his best friend's family does. And you can see that he really yearns for something like that. He wants to have that kind of relationship with his father. And so in this volume, there's a part where his dad says something about, I think, having to go get his suit dry cleaned maybe. And Atami tells him that one suit looks better on him than the other. And you can see his dad's like almost sort of shocked at the fact that Atami has these sorts of thoughts too, and that they can have conversations about these kind of things. Just a casual, normal conversation. And even just like a small interaction like that, like you can tell that's different for Atami, but that it wasn't really as bad as he thought it would be, or like, you know, it went better than he maybe thought it would go. And so I hope that brings him closer to his father eventually. But just stuff like that, small things like that, you can really see Atami growing. Like, he's just so precious. I love watching him figure out his own thoughts and figure out how the world works. Like, also in this one, his best friend's friend, who's also now his friend. Sorry that I don't know anybody's names. That would be a lot easier if I knew the characters' names. But that friend has all these thoughts about love and how foolish it is to kind of develop feelings like that. Which, you know, Atami, he's kind of out here every single week finding a new person that he sets his sights on. And Atami kind of talks about like one-sided internal love, and how maybe everyone is a fool about love in some way or another. Like, it's just kind of unavoidable. And I'm thinking in the next volume, that friend will kind of have a little foolish awakening of his own. And I wonder if Atami will be the one to help him out, because Atami is kind of always seeking advice from others, which I think is really nice. Like, there's a character who came back from the first volume, and I feel like Atami really learned some like boundaries in regards to that character, but he kind of bumps into him again and he asks for his advice on some like school related things. And I didn't really know if we would see that character again, but there was like a very brief scene where it looked like he was going to say something to Atami, but he got interrupted, and I was like, oh. I don't know if you remember, but the last time whenever I was talking about the series with volume 1, I was saying that I don't really know if there is like an end game per se for Atami. Like, we may have met his love interest, maybe we have not, maybe there won't ever like concretely even be one, just because of the nature of the series. Like, I'm just not even sure. I'm just not sure if the mangaka even intends that. But with that one character, I was like, oh. But anyway, I'm so happy that I got to read volume 2. I remember, I'm pretty sure last time whenever I was talking about volume 1, I don't think there was like a release date for volume 2 at the time. So I was like, it could be forever, but it wasn't even a whole year, I don't think. And actually, I wouldn't even have known that volume 2 came out, but you know how Amazon recommends you things. I saw that volume 2 was recommended to me, and I was like, oh, is it coming out? And it's like, no, it's been out since April. This series is definitely one of my favorites though. If you like slice of life, you definitely have to truly read this one. Also, I really like how this spread turned out. I feel like it matches the Shout Loud My Heart spread and also kind of the spread I made for my archive journal. Like, they all kind of look really good together. But anyway, now that this spread is finished, we can put all of the spreads I made into my digital journals. I wanted to talk about my June TBR spread since I didn't screen record myself making it. I found the one background on Twitter. It has like these cute swirls and stars and a little panda, and I just loved how it looked, and I especially loved the colors in it. And I also used a memo note that I found on Twitter before as well, and I kind of like just tweaked the colors of it a little bit to make it match the overall colors of the spread more. But I will have both of those tweets in the description box. And I also really liked the Hello Kitty art that I found. I was going to save that to use it for whenever I make my Sakamoto Days spread eventually, because like Lou, like, she makes the dumplings at the convenience store, but I was like, this would look so cute in this June TBR spread, so I went ahead and used it. Also, in a minute, speaking of how cute Hello Kitty is, in a minute you'll see my June calendar. My very bare June calendar. I feel like nothing was going on in May or June, but I found such cute artwork of Hello Kitty and Mimi sitting like on like a boardwalk or something, and they're having ice cream and popcorn, and they're wearing like little sailor hats. I thought that was really cute. And I found this other little artwork of Hello Kitty that said June, and it's like her on the beach, and there's like a sailboat in the distance, and there's like a turtle by her, and she's got a little life raft in her hand, and it says June in like a font that has like polka dots on the inside of it. I thought it was so cute. It's actually been so cool here. Like, it's been very rainy every single day, which is really shocking to me because usually I feel like it would be like 90 degrees by now. Like, even right now, like, I don't have the fan on. I have on a short sleeve shirt and like I'm a little chilly. I run cold though anyway. That's how I know it gets hot, because I'm the kind of person who will be a little bit cold if it's 80 degrees inside of my house. So that's how I know it gets hot. I was just thinking about like the month ahead that I feel like there's no new music really coming out other than Doyoung. His new album is going to be coming out. But that reminded me, I should have given you a media update on music I've been loving. Seulgi and Irene's album, absolutely love. It's been on repeat every single day. I also keep listening to the same 3 songs from Baekhyun's new album, Chocolate, Elevator, and Love Comes Back. Oh, that reminds me, last night I had a dream that Kyungsoo from EXO was singing a One Direction song. I think it was I Want. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. Everything I used in today's spreads will be in my Pinterest board, and my Pinterest board is linked in the description box along with my other social media accounts, as well as the links to my Google Drive folders for my journal deco kits. I feel like today's video was a little bit random, like me being excited about NetGalley and Kodansha, and then also a blmanga that you can't even technically read yet. But as always, I hope you had fun hanging out, because I always do. Thank you for being here with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!